Hey, we're back. We're back. The Family Chantel, the premiere of season 5, which is the final chapter. We gotta talk about it. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Chantel. The whole family. Not even gonna lie to y'all. The whole family. Like, I kind of want to be an honorary member of the family. So we are watching the end of their relationship, and we were talking about what we saw. Hey, Scott. Scott, you weren't. So, Scott, fill us in. When are we going to get to see you take Pedro down? Because I feel like a lot of people have been really interested in seeing that. Cara and DeeDee are here. Welcome back.
Hi.
Hello. Cara, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. So, this was the premiere.
Hi.
Now, we know. Hi. Hi again. So we know that they divorced in like August of last year is when they announced it to us. I think it actually happened in like May. And so we didn't know a lot because Chantel has been really quiet, and Pedro, he does post, but he won't answer anything about anyone or anything about the divorce. So this is our first look inside of what's going on in their divorce and how it's playing out. And apparently for 9 months, Pedro and Chantel were estranged. They didn't have one conversation. And what we do know, last season, it ended kind of abruptly. It kind of seemed like it wasn't the end. And I'm assuming it's because they refused to film anything else. Well, there was $265,000 in a joint bank account. And Chantel took the money out of the account and kind of was MIA. She wasn't at the house, and she was, I think, at a hotel at one point and then left town. Oh, wait, Scott says I can't discuss anything, but I'm in the remaining episodes. Okay, that's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. I was looking for you. We were looking for you. We wanted to know what was going on. So the next episodes.
Scott was going to break out and start kicking Pedro's ass in episode
Whoa!
1.
I feel like that would have been the main event, right? Start out with the bang.
So we can't do it episode 1.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to make us wait till the end. Okay, so Pedro made a claim that Chantel spent $60,000 of the $265,000 on, she says, home expenses and a divorce lawyer. He says BS, and then she took the $205,000 and she turned it into the court, which is like what they would hold it for the proceedings or whatever, which was the right thing to do. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think about clearing out the bank account? Did she have a right to do that? Would you have done that? How do you feel about that situation?
Hell yeah, I would have took it all.
Yeah. We all knew from the get-go. We all knew from the get-go that Pedro, him, his mom, and his sister, the wackos, they had all this planned. Once, and I've been saying it ever since the very first time they were on 90 Day Fiance, and even whenever they started the Family Chantel, as soon as he got his permanent green card, they were going to get a divorce.
So yeah, you thought that so you and Miss Karen were on the same page.
Hold on. Did you hear Pedro talking to his mom and said, he said, and I wrote it down exactly verbatim because I didn't want to mess it up. He said to his mom and his sister, Chantel wrote us another offer to settle.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he did. He said that.
So they were all in on it.
He said Chantel wrote us another offer to settle.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the settlement, I don't want to get into the settlement yet because I want to talk about that. What do you guys think about the money being taken away so he couldn't take it? Because do you guys feel like he would have took the money and went to the DR?
Yeah.
That's what he felt was going to happen. And so when you're going, I've never been married in my life, so these are dumb questions probably, but when you're going through a divorce and everything is still community property, would he have the right to go in there and take money even though they're together?
Because he's on the count.
So she didn't technically do anything wrong. He could have did the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you remember the last episode of the last season, Karen said that the money Chantel had was part of her inheritance. So that was hers to begin with. That wasn't theirs. but Chantel made it theirs by putting it in the joint account.
That was my next question. So when you're married and say you get an inheritance, as long as you don't put the money in a joint account, that's just yours, right?
No.
No.
If you have a prenup, it's just yours.
And they didn't.
If you're married, I don't care what it is. It's automatically it's your spouse's as well.
Not fair. It's not. How would they be entitled to?
It can be different. There's only one way it can be different, and that is if you're married and say your parents die and leave you an inheritance, but in their will it is left to you and only you, and states that that is no part of your husband's. It has to be in a last will and testimony. That's it. That's the only option for that. Otherwise, it's joint property.
I don't like that. See, that's probably why I've never got married. I don't like that because the person leaving you that money, they might not have even been around to see that relationship. So why would any of that money go to a person they didn't even know, didn't like? There's so many different scenarios. I didn't realize that. So once she got married.
If you put $1 in a joint bank account, your spouse can go take out that dollar. If you put $100,000 in there, your spouse can go take out
as long as they're on the account. Yep.
I don't like it. See, I don't like it. This is why I don't want to get married. I don't like it because
George, you ain't even gotta be married. If you're like
joint account,
a joint account with anybody, it can be with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your sister, your mother, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew. I don't care who it is. If they're on that account, they can wipe you clean, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So she took the money out because if he would have took, at least when she took it out, it went to the court. If he would have took it, so wait, if they were in divorce proceedings and he took the money out, because when you take money out there, you have to give like your ID, so they would have known who removed it. If he said that he no longer had it, what's the next stance? What can she do?
If they were in the middle of divorce proceedings,
right,
then it's criminal. That's that.
So he can go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay, but she's probably still will never see the money again, right?
Oh, she
not from that wacko.
Nope.
Him and his family.
Oh my gosh, this is wild. This is so crazy. Like,
once the divorce proceedings start, whatever's in that joint account is now not your property anymore. Until there's an answer reached.
Frozen. So it's frozen.
Yep.
So they both were trying to be proactive
Yep.
in taking something out because they knew, because look, it took them almost a year. So that money would have been untouchable for like this whole year.
So that's why the second he said he wanted a divorce, Chantel hit the bank.
Because she didn't do anything wrong. She had every legal right to remove money because there were no papers filed.
Yep.
So she had every legal right. So he made it seem like she stole from him. And I was really interested in talking about that because if it's a joint account, you're married and all of your assets are community together, you can't steal from each other.
Yep.
It's not possible.
He said that he put all that money in the account from his realtor job. We all know that's a lie.
Well, the court is going to determine where the money came from, right? Or does the court not care?
But it doesn't matter.
Court doesn't care.
Oh, so it doesn't matter.
No.
So Chantel could have put all that money in there from her inheritance. They're still going to say he gets half. They don't care where it came from.
Exactly.
Ew, I don't like it, really.
For example, let's say, George, you and I went and bought a car.
Okay.
And you paid for it. You paid for all of it. But my name's on the car. And then we have a horrible fight. We break up. I'm leaving. You're leaving. But that's your car. It's always been your car. I've never even driven it. And I show up at 2 a.m. I hop in your car and I drive off with it. You call the police. They say, sorry, it's her car too. And that's that.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I couldn't even report
anytime you have anybody else on anything you have, cars, homes, banks, loans, whatever.
So
you
basically joint property is a horrible idea.
Horrible idea.
Very bad.
Oh.
Unless you legit trust that person and you legit, then again, she trusted Pedro with everything after everybody was saying that he was scamming her. So
she didn't trust fully, because the second he said he wanted a divorce, she was at the bank. She knew.
You always have that in the back of your mind, especially when people keep telling you, like different people, outside people keep telling you the same thing.
Yeah.
Because she had friends, she had family. So many people were like, this guy doesn't seem right to me. Like,
but he did it at the wrong time, though. He did it. He asked for the divorce once his final green card got approved.
Yep.
It was going to get approved regardless, though, right?
Yeah.
They had been together for 7 years.
It was going to get approved regardless, but as soon as he knew that she could not have him deported, that he got his green card, that's when he wanted a divorce.
He waited 2 years. He could have applied at the 5-year mark. But again, as you're watching this episode, there's a lot that he doesn't understand about the law. Did you guys catch that? Because he's like, I'm scared to go to court because I'm an immigrant. It's like, that doesn't, if you didn't do anything wrong, you can go to court as an immigrant.
But the difference is we all know that Chantel's family has the money for top of the line attorneys.
Yeah.
We all know that Pedro does not, and neither does his family.
That's true.
So I would be scared to go to court against them if I was him, whether I was an immigrant or not.
Really? So
go to court.
Even if you don't think you did anything wrong, you still.
I would have to go in and represent myself because I'm a broke ass jackass from the DR with nothing. And here they are with top of the line attorneys. This attorney's hammering me with questions. I have no answers because not only can I hardly understand him because it's such a language barrier, but I don't know what to say without burying myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be very intimidating.
Interesting. Okay, so I want to talk about the settlement. So the first settlement that he wanted was to give her 25% of the sale of the house, which they purchased for $290,000 2 years ago, and it is now appreciated to $425 to $435, which is an amazing appreciation, by the way. But he wanted, what the thing was, he wanted to take away 25% of her proceeds because she took the $60,000. So, but again, I think we already answered this. Even if she could prove that she used that money for lawyer fees, I think we already answered. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Right? It never was going to matter. So she refused his offer and she's doing 50-50, but her family feels like 50-50 is outrageous. So I wanted to get
her cards right. If she played her cards right, somewhere in that divorce settlement, it says once the sale of the house is completed, she probably sued him for her legal fees. So,
she can sue him?
Yes.
But wait, so he's the one that filed. So does that give her the right to sue him for fees?
Yeah, because she had to get an attorney. She is having to sell her house. She has emotional trauma. There's all kinds of things you can go after somebody for.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So since he's the petitioner, you can go after him for the fees associated with what he petitioned. Oh.
And then they're filming, so he's actually slandering her by calling her the devil and everything else. So she can take that and she can sue him for slander. And in the state of Georgia, slander is automatically $1 million fine and possibly jail time.
Yeah.
For real?
If you can prove it, yes. If you have proof, that is automatically $1 million fine and possible jail time.
Worst case scenario, that falls through, it would automatically slide down to defamation of character, which is a whole nother thing. So either way, she's been good.
So how do you guys feel about the 50-50? Because I've never been married.
She's crazy. She crazy.
So do you think the 50-50, even though they were married for 7 years, is still
I don't give a shit.
No, because he used her. He scammed her.
So you don't think he should get anything?
No.
I mean, I don't know how this
nothing.
works. I've never been married. I thought when you get divorced, it's 50-50 or lower.
I mean, some people, some normal marriages can end that way if one spouse didn't use the other person to come to the United States. Pedro used her, out and out used her. There are 6 seasons filmed of him using her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he can't.
Him and her family used her. Like Miss Karen said, they were just wanting to harvest the American dollar.
Yep.
We heard that a lot.
Is it possible if she would have went to court that he would have walked away with nothing if she could prove that he cheated?
Yeah.
100%.
So why do you think
it's all over? What was that girl's name? The one that worked in the realty.
Well,
he cheated with her.
Yeah.
He cheated with Karima, and he cheated with other women.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think why do you think she wouldn't go to court and let him walk away with nothing?
I think because it's a possibility, because she did spend that $60,000, that she would probably have to give him 30 of it back, is what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
I think she just wanted to wash her hands of it and be done. So it was like, let's do it this way. We'll settle. Then we're done.
Well, selling the house, they're going to make enough to pay off the loan and walk away with something, because the house is like more than double than what they paid for it. And I don't know what type of loan they got, but Pedro is in real estate. I'm assuming it's a pretty decent interest rate loan. So, I think when you pay it off early, you end up paying a lot less in the interest, right? You get an early payoff, and the interest is a lot lower than if you would have stretched it out. So they're gonna walk away.
Some mortgage companies have prepayment penalties.
Yeah.
So if you pay it off too soon, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they're going to get in trouble probably because it's only been 2 years.
Well, I mean, if their loan had prepayment penalties.
So some don't. Oh, okay. So some don't. So
not all. No,
depending on what they knew at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. He wasn't in real estate then. Maybe they didn't know what to look for. Right. So they're going to sell this house, and he already purchased a house. I think I posted it yesterday. He purchased another house for $275,000 or $279,000 in Atlanta. So I'm assuming with the proceeds from the sale of that house, right? Like, where did he get all this money?
What'd you say, DeeDee?
I hope I never run into him. I have to go to Atlanta all the time.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, it's in the same area where they always have been, so you probably won't see him.
I hope you run into him because you'll punch him in the face.
I'll punch him in the face and kick him in the nuts.
So, Nicole said that she understood Chantel because Chantel is a snake. And she was like, it takes a snake to know a snake, basically. And I was like, look at Nicole owning her being a little evil person. Because at first she used
Nicole's still wearing braces.
Well, it's weird because last season she didn't have them in. Do you remember she went to get them taken out?
But then she didn't.
So it overlapped the filming of Love and
Oh, okay. That's what it did. Because I remember her going to get them taken out. And then you're right. They're back in. And I'm like,
why is she wearing them for 35 years?
Maybe her teeth were really crooked. I don't know. Like they really crooked. Oh, so we know that her and Alejandro broke up 6 months prior to filming, so sometime last year.
But
so
we also learned that they were together for 3 years. Did anybody else know that?
No. Well, I know that they were together, and then when he went back to New York, they broke up.
That's what I thought. He said they were together 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that she went to New York a couple years ago and spent some time with him. But then after the end of the last season, they broke up. And then I don't know if that was the final breakup. Like, I don't know. The timeline is hard to follow with her and Alejandro. And I feel like, so I had this question. Do you feel like Nicole was trying to be with Alejandro because she felt like the Pedro green card situation was taking too long and that marrying Alejandro would have made it faster for her? Or do you feel like what do you feel like that relationship was about? Hey, Kim.
It was a race.
Hi, Kim.
It was a race, George.
So it was whoever could get her here fastest, right? Because I felt like she clearly didn't.
So Pedro was going to get his mom here. So Nicole was going to marry an American man. Because otherwise, Pedro could pick one or the other.
So wait, he couldn't bring both?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Probably not.
So she was
because Nicole wasn't a minor. So I think you have to be a minor.
So she was kind of on her own. So she's kind of on her own to find her way over. So maybe that's where Alejandro came into play.
That was the plan. Was Pedro, you get to America, you bring mom over, I'll meet an American man, I'll marry him, and I'll be over there too. and then we'll all cash in on the American dollar.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty clear on their intentions. I think Karen picked up on it right away, because do you remember way back in the day, Karen accused Lydia of running an international dating,
Yeah.
and nobody ever really looked into it. Do you remember that? She was like, your job, because later we found out she was a lawyer. She's like, your job is you pair Dominican Republic men or women with Americans. And nobody ever really looked into it. And I was like, well, is that true?
Yeah.
And then she said that she got paired with Pedro because she was teaching, wait, I got to get this right. She was teaching Pedro English.
Yeah.
And she was his tutor. But we never really heard how they got connected. And I was like, maybe Lydia she was hiring tutors. Yeah. And then she was connecting these people. And then it's up to the person to build that relationship with the person. And
well, back in the beginning, remember, Lydia was trying to hook up with somebody else in their family. It was an uncle or something.
Chantel's
family? I remember that. Yeah.
Well, now I gotta look it up. Hold on. So Lydia was looking to hook up with somebody related to Chantel.
Yeah. So when the Family Chantel went over to the DR, Karen called her out in front of their family, in front of her family, in front of everybody, and wanted to know why she was trying to hook up with, I think it was her uncle.
No, it was Karen's brother, which is their kid's uncle. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I don't remember that. How weird.
It was early on.
So right, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh man, the plot thickens, right? Like it keeps getting better and better. And so Chantel is telling us some of the divorce decree, right? So everything in the house belongs to Chantel. How common is it that one person gets everything? That's not common, right? Usually you have to split up the furnishings, right?
Yeah, something's weird there. Because, well, yes and no. So Pedro essentially made a list of all of his things that are in the garage, the tools and the yard care and blah, blah, blah. So that's what he said was his. So Chantel put the list together of everything else that's hers. Pedro signed it because he just wants to be done. So what I say that is because literally all she has to do is move shit from the garage into the house.
Well, right. If there's no itemized list of each item, you can't just say what's in the garage. You're right. You could just take all the shit out of the garage and leave one screwdriver.
So you said this toolbox of yours. Okay, I'll leave that there. But you didn't say anything about this Mona Lisa painting. We bought it in an estate sale. So I'm taking that shit in the house.
This whole situation is so crazy to me because they kind of get to say what's theirs and what's not, and then you have to agree. And I feel like that's really iffy because sometimes one person buys all the furniture and then maybe the other person buys the cars, and then you're supposed to just be okay with giving away stuff. Like, I don't know, like if I bought like $1,000 couch, I kind of want to take my $1,000 couch, right? Like, I don't want to just say, oh, well, since
but that's fine. I have a $1,000 couch because I just took $60,000 out of the bank, so we're even.
True.
Yeah.
So do you think
now he said he wants his what's his game chair or something, and she's like, well, that's in the house, and everything inside the house belongs to me, and you're not getting it.
Well, right, it's not on the list. So you know her, she probably took that chair in the backyard and set it on fire. Like, because it's not on the list. So she was like, you want this? Let me burn it and then send you a video of me burning it. You know, because that's basically where she's at this point. Because she's like, when she saw him at the real estate office, the look in her face, I was like, I hope she doesn't hit him with something. She just looked so pissed off. But it's like, you live with somebody for 7 years. They tell you that they love you. And then one day they just wake up and say, I want a divorce. And then they just delete your number out of their phone. That is so sketch to me.
But can we address, if we watch this, okay, if I was married to Pedro, which I would never be, but if I was married to Pedro and I watched this and I was like, did this guy brush his teeth like that every time? I would have filed for divorce so much sooner. Who puts their damn foot on the bathroom counter to brush their teeth?
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable in that scene.
Never have I ever put my foot on the bathroom counter to brush my teeth.
I don't even think I can get my foot on the bathroom counter. I'm not in good shape. Like, I don't even think I could get my foot on the bathroom. He's weird. He's a weird guy. And it's like,
yeah.
I never understood her attraction because I feel like Chantel is way too good for him. Like, they're not in the same league.
Yeah, and she's gorgeous.
Well, right. I feel like she could have always done better. I never understood the attraction and why she put up with so much. And her family was so adamant because she literally fought tooth and nail for her family to accept him or whatever. And I know she feels really stupid now, right? Like, she's like, everybody told me I was fighting for him. I'm yelling at people. I skipped family events because I didn't want to have, you know, the fighting. And now Karen is like, I tried to tell you. This guy.
The world couldn't tell her. From the very first time they were on 90 Day Fiancé.
Yep.
The whole world was telling her. Red flags was slapping her in the face every time she turned around.
Literally.
So when he got here, he said that he worked so she could go to school. So now he feels like when he started his career, he was like, she wouldn't support my career. What does that mean? Because she's a nurse and he was working in real estate. What does it mean to support someone's career? Because what was she doing to not support it? I was kind of curious about the wording of that, because he's like, well, she doesn't support me being a real estate agent. What do you have to do to support someone being a real estate agent?
She supports him being a realtor. She's got a lot of respect for him. She supports the shit out of him. What she doesn't support is the bullshit after work with his coworkers and him not coming and all of that.
So his complaint was, she doesn't let me bang my coworkers.
Literally.
Okay, so that's what I thought, because I was like, well, what did she do specifically that doesn't? Because she said you worked all the time, you were there all the time, you were there late, you were working nights, you were working weekends, and everybody knows you can't buy no damn house on the weekend. So what were you doing? So basically, she questioned what you were doing, and that was annoying because it's hard for you to bang every girl at work if your wife's snooping around, right? It makes it really difficult because your wife's going to ruin that for you, because if she shows up while you're trying to bang your coworkers, it's going to be a huge issue. So my question is, she's positive that he was cheating. Why didn't she go to the court and prove that he was cheating? And then, because if you can prove that the person is cheating, you can determine how much they get in the divorce, or is that not true?
I don't think that's true.
Oh, that's not true?
I don't think so.
I see. I don't know a lot about divorce.
Everybody goes in. Anytime you're getting a divorce, it's always because someone was cheating.
Oh, so he could still walk away with half even if he was cheating?
I think so.
Oh.
I still would have took him to court, and I would have fought tooth and nail. I mean, because everybody knows that he scammed her. They were on a reality TV show. I mean, the judge could watch the tapes. It was all a scam.
Okay, guys, I found it. I want you all to listen. Okay.
Exacto. No, pasaba para decirte que el abogado de Chantel nos hizo una contraoferta a nosotros.
Yeah. She sent
I wanted to let you know that Chantel's lawyer made us a counter offer.
Wow.
So if you watch it on Discovery Plus, it's at 11:56.
So the money is there. So they were all in on it, and this is the payoff for what and this was a 7-year operation.
Yeah.
So this is finally the payoff. So that's why he was calling them to keep them updated, because they're finally going to see the money for this thing that they've been planning all this time.
Yep.
He finally got his green card. He can finally bring his mama over here. So.
Okay.
I felt bad. I felt bad when Chantel was in the car with Destiny and she was talking about how she wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
And I do remember her more than once asking him to have kids. And I think, you know, she figured it out too. Having this scam going on and then needing to cut himself free of her, a child would have made that very, very, very complicated.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
there was no chance that he could have children. That wasn't part of the plan, because once you bring children into the marriage, everything is complicated. You can't break free of that person. There's going to be custody. There's going to be child support. There's going to be so many different aspects to the divorce. If you're child free, you really can wash your hands of a person. And I think that was the main issue that he couldn't fix in their scam. She wanted children. He pretended, because he was the first time they showed the flashback, he's like, oh yeah, in like 10 years, because he knew in 10 years he would be long gone.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for her, because I really do believe Chantel really believed that he loved her. And I feel really bad for her, because it must really hurt to know that somebody played games with your heart and then literally kicked you to the curb like garbage. Yep. He literally kicked her to the curb.
Again, as long as I live.
It's crazy to me. And then the fact that I feel really bad. I know a lot of people were like, oh, well, I knew they weren't going to work out. And I heard a lot of different responses from last season when they were breaking up, whatever. And honestly, I didn't believe it up until the last episode. I thought it was all BS. I really thought that they were going to stay together. Like, honestly, I didn't think that they were going to break up for real.
Yeah.
Because the scam worked really good, right?
Yeah.
When I saw them together on TV, when they were doing things together, it didn't look like there was any trouble. And then, like Chantel said in last season, she's like, all of a sudden, everything that I did was wrong. All of a sudden, I'm lazy.
That final green card.
Yes, right? It was literally...
It's disgusting, because look at Chantel. So it's not like he suffered.
No. That's what I said. He suffered none. Not only is she beautiful and out of his league, but she opened up amazing opportunities for him he would have never had. And I'm not even on the green card. I mean, being on a TV show, notoriety. He could get a job. He could get paying gigs and things that she helped him do. Yeah. Without any of her help, who knows what he would be doing, right? Like, honestly, the things
Scam another woman.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. This season, this episode, it was good. It didn't disappoint, but I did feel kind of bad for Chantel and watching her actually cry. Because I have to remember, we're watching a woman divorce the love of her life. Like, we're watching, we want to eat our popcorn and we want to be entertained, but we're also watching someone's marriage demise. Like, it's ending, it's crumbling, and this was 7 years of her whole life. Yeah. And it's like, we want to be like, oh my God, did you see that? But she's literally living a divorce. Like, it's not fake. Yeah. So it kind of really hit me when I was watching the episode and she was in the car with Destiny and she was crying. And I was like, wow, we're watching this because it's entertaining and we're invested in what happened. But this is real shit for her. Like, this is legit what her life is falling apart. We just happen to watch the beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. But, like, she has to live with it. And I think it was good for Winter to move in with her. And I think it's good that she has her dog and she's focusing on herself. I don't know
Who hates their dogs like that?
Wait, is that weird to put the dog in the tub with rose petals? I thought it was weird, right?
Rose petals and candles?
I mean,
I wouldn't put my dogs in the same room with rose petals and candles.
Well, Scott was doing some weird showering with his dog, remember?
But Scott showered with his dog. He didn't light any freaking candles. He didn't bring in any rose petals. When I give my dog, my gigantic 100-pound lab, a bath, I climb in the shower with him. We do our thing, get him out, dry him off. We're done. No candles, no rose petals, no bullshit.
It had to be for the show because they wanted us to think she was dating, right? Because the candles and rose petals is weird for the dog. Because I was like, oh, they want us to think that she got a whole man living in here with her. That's what they wanted us to think.
Yeah, because she was like, you can come in now, babe.
Yeah, they wanted us to think she had a whole man living there. And, you know, that would have been good. I wanted that for her. Oh, so she was seen in a picture with Waka Flocka. I don't know how familiar you guys are with rap music, but he had a show on WeTV with his ex-wife. They're no longer together. So a lot of people are speculating that they are dating, and she was on live a few days ago, her and River, and Waka was in the comments commenting and talking to her. So I love this for Chantel, right? I remember when they announced the divorce, Drake commented on something saying that, you know, if he had the opportunity to be with Chantel, he wouldn't have treated her that way. Yeah. So if Waka Flocka is interested, I would love to see her pursue that. I did see a picture of them together, but I don't know where it was. I don't know the event. You know, they're both very famous people from the Atlanta area, so they could have just happened to be at the same thing. Right. I don't want to like say that they're together because I don't know. You know, they're very famous people and they both live in Atlanta. You could have been both paid to be at the same event at the same time and you took a picture. Yeah. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but I would love that for her.
I did see the comments.
Did you? Yeah. Were you in the live too? Yeah, I saw it and I was like, he flirting with Chantel right now though, right? Like I like this. This is good. I want to see her move on. And this guy, I don't know, he's on her level.
He was all totally normal. And then he commented and she pulls her hood down and she says, I don't even have any makeup on right now.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, River was like, I don't even got no chapstick on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She immediately is worried about how she looks when there's like 1,000 people watching, but when that person enters the chat, now she's like, oh, what you doing here? You know, what you doing here? I didn't know you were gonna be here. So that's good. I want to see that for her. So we got 5 more episodes of the final chapter. Scott's gonna be in some, so I'm excited for that. And I want to know what's up with Lydia because I've heard rumors that Lydia's physically here.
I fucking hope not.
Like to stay, right? Like I don't know how she will be there, but that's what I heard. I know she didn't marry Scott, so I don't know how she's here. So we're gonna watch and see what's up with that and see where Nicole.
She started fishing so she can harvest that American dollar.
Well, she gotta marry somebody if she want to get over here, right?
I don't know because Pedro could have possibly brought her over here because that's his mom. You can bring your parents over here.
Oh, so you can petition for your parents. Yeah. It's just not Nicole.
It's a possibility, but then again, knowing her, she probably screwed her way over here.
Well, yeah, you know, there's an easy way and there's the right way and then there's Lydia's way, right?
Yeah.
So, who knows? So I'm ready to watch the rest of the episodes. We're going to be on time and not late next week. That was on me. Don't get mad at the co-hosts. They were here. They were ready. It was all me. But we will be here on time. So we'll be back on Sunday to...
It was my daughter's birthday, and then it was my birthday, and I wasn't anywhere around. So
but I wasn't either. So it still wasn't your fault. I wasn't either. I was 1,000 miles away from where I was supposed to be. And then I was at 11 o'clock. I was still watching the show. Because I was like, I can still go live, but we'll be live till like 12 in the morning. I was like, no, I can't do it. So it doesn't matter. I still wasn't ready. So
I was literally laying in bed thinking about you, George, at 11 o'clock. When I was watching it, I know. I was watching the show at 11 o'clock because we had just talked about how late it would be for you. And I was like, I wonder if he's watching it too.
I had to stream it on my phone because my laptop was dead. I was having the day from hell. The TV didn't have on demand. I was like, so I'm watching it on my phone. I'm like, this is like the worst possible scenario. And then by the time I finished the episode, it was like 11:30, 12. So I was like, we can still do it. I'm like, no, we can't. This is all on me. But next week we'll be on time. We'll be back here for 90 Day Fiance on Sunday.
But I have to say, watching you freeze your ass off in 50-degree weather makes me want to bring you to Oregon so bad.
When I got back, it was 91 degrees here. When I got off the plane last night, I had my cap on, my beanie cap, my jacket, my jeans, my long sleeves. When I got in the Uber, I had to take off everything. I thought I was going to die of a heat stroke. I was like, oh my God, I'm so hot. 29? No, it was like 58.
That's where I'm at right now.
It was like 58 in Jersey, and then they wanted us to go outside for things so we could film things. And I was like, can we just do anything but go outside, please? Please, can we do literally anything else? It was so cold.
It was 8 degrees when I left for work this morning.
That's not fun. Are you serious? That's single
cold.
digits.
It was cold.
Yeah, that's cold.
Look-
When I was coming through Arizona in December, it was 9 degrees. There was black ice, snowing. Like, it was crazy. It was cold.
It was cold.
No thanks. No thanks. Although I was really hot today. I had to go out. 91 degrees. It's November. Like, Florida got a chill. It has no chill. They take a little bit of chill. Like, come on. Like, can we just do 70s? You know, like, on Christmas, are we really going to be 95 degrees? That's crazy. I do like to put my...
We have not had a winter in Georgia. We have not had a winter in I don't know how many years.
No, y'all had one a few years ago because I remember it snowed and people were stuck on the freeway. It was on the news.
Yeah, that was like back in 2017.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then as soon as it hit the ground, it melted because the ground is so hot.
Well, yeah, that's the issue, the whole issue. But I don't know. I don't like being... Do you know when I landed, within like 20 minutes, I was sick. I had a runny nose.
I saw that.
Sick within like 15
George.
But from the airport to the hotel, I got sick. I don't know how. I was extremely... Like, I was like... I was blowing my nose. I was sneezing. I was like, because even if we did do it, I can barely talk. I was like, I'm legit sick already. And then when I got back, I was fine.
Yeah.
It's climate change is all.
Yeah, it's too much. All right, guys. So we're going to be back Sunday. We're going to talk about 90 Day Fiance, the OG season. Then on Monday, we're going to be back here for The Other Way. And then Tuesday, episode 2 of the Family Chantel, the final chapter. Fingers crossed, Scott is going to be drop kicking Pedro in that episode. I don't know that though. I don't know that. Don't quote me. I don't know that. They might make us wait all the way to episode 6. I don't know.
I hope so. The sooner the better.
I feel like
wait.
It's the holiday season and they're delivering drama, and I feel like it's an awesome present, right? Sarper got on my last nerve, and then we're watching Pedro kind of destroy Chantel. Like, the drama is crazy, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the non-manufactured drama, guys. I love it.
Yep.
All right, guys, make sure you follow my co-hosts. They're tagging this video. Follow me at George Mossey on all social media platforms, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast or stream music, type in The George Mossey Show. Thanks for sticking with us. We're late this week. We won't be next week. We'll talk to all of you guys on Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.